So this is absolutely hot off the press. The team behind ARM SX2 has just released, and I mean just as in an hour ago, just released ARM SX1, which, if you've not already guessed, is a PS1 emulator in the same vein. So I thought what I'd do is I'd download it and I'd just check it out completely blind. So we'll close GitHub. I'll leave a link to this in the description so you can try it out. So I'm just going to go to my Solid Explorer and I'll go to my downloads and we'll just give it an install. Got a lovely little kind of classic Sony logo there, or Sony logo like I should say. There we are. Okay, so normal setup wizard. So first app data folder. So for these, and one thing that I'll be covering when I do finally cover my ARM SX2 video versus the Nether SX2 video, is this, and this is a huge thing. So basically, one of the issues I have with a lot of the older emulators is the inability to save your app data wherever you like, so you can access the memory cards, the save states, that kind of thing. However, it looks like I can use a custom folder, which is exactly what I want. So, ooh, that's my ROMs folder. So we'll do ARM SX. So I always put these on my root storage. So if I just go back, you can see I've also got my ARM SX2 one there as well. So I use SyncThing, and that allows me to basically sync the memory cards so I can pick up and play on any device, which is always great. So our BIOS, so I have a BIOS folder. So the BIOS I use is the PSX on PSP 660. So there we go, so it's detected it. Now for our ROMs folder, we'll just grab that. Okie dokie. So it's scanning the ROMs, and yep, that's our basic setup wizard. So a very basic setup wizard, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I will say, at first glance, this looks a lot nicer. One of my early issues with ARM SX2 before it kind of became the refresh version was the UI itself was not great. So it's nice to see that there has been some significant improvements there. So it seems to have grabbed some of the artwork. I don't know if it's loading it in the background, although it's not accounted for my M3U files are in there, but it's not also hidden the separate discs as well. So don't know if there's a setting or something. So we've got different views. So we can have a nice list view. We can have tall boxes, which always look a bit weird with the square jewel cases of the PS1. We've got square ones, which we want. And yeah, that's it. So I'll leave it on square for now. Oh, we've got some little options here, so we can have a 2D or a 3D cover style. Much prefer the 2D personally. Custom names for ROM. I'm assuming if you name things, you can have that show. Got English titles and show hidden games. So I'm assuming if I do press and hold, and I can hide a game from the library. So imagine if I go to Final Fantasy. Although I can't actually see if that is the M3U file or if that's the Disk 1 file. So, not ideal. But like I said, this literally came out an hour ago, so this might look totally different by the time you guys give it a shot. So we've also got some retro achievements. So I highly doubt, or I know for a fact, this won't be hardcore enabled. So if you play hardcore like I do, this will be softcore until it gets authorized by the retro achievements team, which, given that ARM SX2 has recently been hardcore verified. I can't imagine that it will be too long a wait. So let's just go through our settings. So if we can check our launch for an update. Yes, we'll do that. We'll include nightly versions. I'll do the same for ARM SX2. No, it's another SX2 then. Got some themes. Some lovely colours, but we want the OLED. Background colour, simple animated background. We'll enable that. RGB cycle, we'll enable that as well. Let's enable all of them. So we've got the boot animation, that was that little logo that popped up at the start. Block the home button while playing. Library music, haha, no, off you go. In-game pause music, or pause music, in-game pause music. Something on the brain. Screen rotation. So a lot of these options have been ported over from ARM SX2. It looks like there's a lot of similarities. For video, obviously we want Vulkan. Oh, so when I've selected Vulkan, it's given me the option to download and import the turnip driver. If I download it, will it? Ooh, that's good, because some of them tend to just take you straight to the GitHub page, but this actually has an internal download wizard, which is always very, very handy. So there we go, Mr. Purple's T29 driver there. So we've got some graphical hacks, widescreen hacks, texture filterings, replacements, downsampling, all your typical emulation style. What's that screen resolution? 1080p. All your typical emulation settings, so integer scaling, you can stretch, but I'm just going to keep it on the 4:3. No effect on Android, so we can ignore that one. So, emulation settings. So yeah, even more, your typical emulation settings. I'll go into these in more details in a full review, but I just wanted to do a quick first impressions for this brand new, hot off the press, fresh out the oven release, just to see what you can emulate different console models. Yeah, just to see what it could do at this very, 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 very early first release, I believe this is. So it looks like, can you add multiple folders as well? So if I try to add a 3DS folder, which is a terrible idea. Oh yeah, so you can have more than one folder. Don't remember if DuckStation let you do that, but good to know that this one does. So obviously one of the reasons that I'm really supportive of what ARM SX2 is doing and what ARM SX1 are doing as well, and it's the same team, is because of the lack of development for good emulators like DuckStation. I know Stenzik, the developer of DuckStation, has basically ceased work on the Android version because he felt that a lot of the Android community were just kind of getting him down. And I get it to an extent, and it is a shame, but it's nice that someone's finally come along and will hopefully take the crown. So let's do some button mapping. So is that? Oh, so we have got some button mapping. Oh, you can have auto turbo as well, which is handy. So we do still need to do our face buttons, which is inevitable really with the layout being a bit different. So what I did there was I just did my X, circle, square, triangle. So it's just a bit, it's swapped to what the AY in Thor is. And then I can map our sticks as well. Won't do that for this one. On-screen controls, get in the bin. How do I? No, I can't tap them to turn them off. I have to drag it to turn it off. Don't need gesture control or anything like that. Okay, hotkeys. So we've got our hotkeys. So we can press a button, a stick, or two together. So you don't need to enable a single hotkey button. You just do your gesture. So if I do my select and right trigger, which doesn't seem to be doing anything. So, not sure what's happening there. So we've got different skins. So you can make it look like Nether SX2 if you're Don't really know what it's done there, but it looks pretty much the same. Oh, we can see we've got our nice animated background, kind of that PS3, PSP animated waves, which is always pretty cool. So anything else in here? Interface, fast forward pop-ups. Does that mean when we're fast forwarding it shows the pop-up, or does it mean any pop-ups will be fast forwarded? Not sure. Sure we'll find out either today or later. So we've got some advanced mode, so yeah, don't need to worry too much about a lot of them. Cheats. So are cheats built in, or? Sure we'll find out. So I've been playing a lot of Symphony of the Night, so let's boot into a game. Oh, so we've got our analytics on here, which I normally do turn off. I'm assuming if I press back, can I... Oh, so we get an in-game menu as well. So can I disable the on-screen overlay? There's some RetroArch shaders in there. That's the same settings, some speed limits. So it's good you can customise them straight from here as well if you want to tinker with the settings as you're in a game. So if we go to cheats, enable the cheats. Oh, so it doesn't come with cheats built in, it looks like, but I imagine you can just import a big cheats library. Oh, so it's paused, so if I press back and then resume. So I can't see a way to... It's paused. How do I stop the pause? I want to resume the game. Oh, there we go. It is resume. I don't know why that pause thing's still there. Unless that's to pause it. Oh, there you go. That's just a shortcut to the menu. So let's not formatted. Well, I've not got a... I don't know why it's formatted that slot, but we'll just dive into this very quickly. So turn some sound on actually, so we can hear. So I really need to find a way to disable this overlay, but I couldn't see one. So if I find out, I'll pin a comment. Oop. So we'll just quickly do the Dracula fight, which I've done about 50 times at this point. I have only recently got into Symphony of the Night. Never played it as a kid, so I'll need to make sure I play through all the original Castlevanias as well, because it is really, really good. I've been watching the anime as well, and I don't do anime, but I've really been enjoying the Netflix Castlevania anime. So now normally I'd fast forward this bit, but as my shortcut hotkey didn't seem to work, I'll have to disregard that, unfortunately.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
Sing along if you know the words.
I'm sorry. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you? So it was
some weird audio glitches there, which I've never experienced, so don't know where... Oh, I've not got me... There we go. Why is my item crash not working? There we go. I think it's because I was jumping. Come on. So all in all, it does seem to run well, and it does seem to be pretty much stuck at 60 frames a second, which is really good. So there's Dracula, dead and buried, and that's the end of the game. Of course it's not. So, shut up guys. So that was just a very, very quick look at ARM SX1, which I'm very, very excited about. Obviously my main favourite feature will be the synchronisation of memory cards automatically through SyncThing, especially since I've set all that up on my Steam machine and Steam Deck and most of the handhelds that I own. So there we are, ARM SX1, hot off the press. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Tell your friends, and I'll see you next time.